Hey guys, today is October the 24th on a Friday, and here we are at this weird government shutdown happening, and yes, I do need to have their assistance, but we may or may not be having food stamps give to us for next month. So what's happening is I'm down to almost nothing in the house, and I wanted to show you that you can just throw things together and make a soup out of it, and it'll feed your family. I don't know if you remember, in my garden this year I harvested some potatoes, and they're all like teeny tiny pieces of potatoes, and you could either use them for seed potatoes for next year, you know, if they survive or whatever, but so that's what I'm doing, and I just thought of, hey, I need to video this. So I have a jar, just one jar of my homemade tomato juice in here, getting warmed up with the pan. So it takes forever in a big old stock pot to make soup, and I started washing off some of these tiny taters, slicing them in half, and throwing them down in here to boil. So I have this on too, but I'm gonna turn it down to probably low because it's starting to boil now. And I'm just gonna go through the kitchen and pick ingredients. I like grabbing things and making stuff just on a whim. It's not a recipe. Just doing it, and it tastes good, and then you don't remember what you done. So, come along with me. This is what I'm doing. I am digging down in my potato bin, and Pet the Kitty is the same way. Yeah. And I've almost got it all out of here. Get out of my potatoes. What are you doing, cat? Rocco, no. No, no, no. So I'm getting my little taters, I'm bringing them over here, seeing what I got, see if they rot. So I got like this size here. These little tiny ones I'm starting with. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, and I'm sorry. I was going to show you, like, tiny shriveled up. I go on and put it in my compost bucket. I found a few of them that had like a little bit of mold on them or something. These are not washed from the garden, just letting you know. I'm coming over here and grabbing another handful. What are you doing, Rocco? Looks alright. Looking alright. A little bit bigger and bigger. What are you doing in my dirt box? I'll have to clean this out later anyway. I was planning on dumping the dirt and stuff out since I had everything out. I got some paper, old paper here, that I've put in between layers of if I bought more taters or not. Things like that. So, see all the little dirt extras. The dirt ain't gonna hurt anything. The dirt actually helps even preserve if you're not using them right away. So that tater looks okay. Now see, there's one right here, it's got a white spot on it. You can probably cut the white spot off. That one jumped out of my hand. It looks alright though. And it's getting to be a little squishy. I'll go on and put it in there too. Okay. So I'll get all this cleaned up. I was just making sure I didn't have any more little tiny pieces of tater. See, you don't know if it's a dirt Clyde or a tater. See, this is a shriveled up piece of potato. Goes in my compost. Okay. Okay. Again, where I got one hand, it's kind of hard to. There we go. Just roll it up. Pour the dirt down in my compost. What doing, Rocco? What doing, Rocco? Oh, here's another little potato. There we go. What are you doing? You gonna play in that box? You go ahead. I'll just leave it all out. Alright. So, I'm gonna get you set up here in a tripod as soon as I can find it. And show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I got you on my tripod here. I'm gonna set you over here on my stove on a burner that's not on. And I do want to show you that I'm at the tail end of my menstruation and I have not done all of my dishes from previous dinners. So everybody's hungry. It is 3:35 and I found my pot that I had my chili in. I plumb forgot to video it. I'm sorry. Should have done it. Chili's the same way. I just throw stuff in there. Don't remember how much I put in, whatever, put spices and all that, and it was a hit. I made a big old pot of it, and we ate it all, every bit of it. None of it went to waste. Yeah, it takes about a week to eat it, but I just put the top on my pan, put it in the refrigerator. We dip it out in bowls and reheat it in the microwave. That's how we do that. Okay. So my potatoes are over here, my pot is over here, so I'll try to get the best footage that I can, because my countertop's full of dishes that I can't put my tripod on. Life happens, guys, just go with it. So I chose to use up these little ones first, just because that's my choice. And I just put a few in my hands, rub them together. Just gets the excess dirt off of them. No, it's not getting every piece of single dirt off. And dirt's good for you. And then I'm just cutting off the hard pieces of tops or whatever. And I'm putting it in my compost bin. Alright, and then checking to see if my potatoes are good, I end up cutting them in half just to look at them, see them through, and then sticking them in my pot here. So I just cut them kind of in half, give a good look-see. They're nice and pretty and white and nothing yucky, no bugs or anything like that, and then I plop them in. Those are some of the russet taters. Here is a purple tater. I think that's cool. Never had purple taters. Here's a red potato. I mean, it don't matter what kind of potato, it's a potato. And Hank told me that his mama used to make a soup like that, like this that I'm making. It's called Piddling Soup. And this is the first time I'm making soup without meat, which is odd for me. I found another stem. I'll be right back. So I do have vegetables and canned vegetables and stuff on shelves and things. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of veggies together, have some herbs, and have a soup. That'll last us, you know, probably about a week or so. That's what I'm hoping anyway. I got a couple little wrinkled fellers here. Let's go and toss them. Alright, empties it. I've got dishwater around here, and it's my hot water. So I'm using hot water to rinse my potatoes in over top of my soapy water. So, trying to save on some water usage here. Cutting these hard pieces off. If you're wondering what's up with this little guy here, I don't have a windowsill space yet, but I finished off some organic lettuce. It's like a romaine lettuce, I think. And I peeled off the leaves on the edges. I didn't think about it. Should have cut it and then use the leaves, but I don't use the whole thing. Dropped one. So on my next, because there's 3 hearts or whatever in a bag that I bought from Walmart. So what I'll do is I'll cut the next set and then have hopefully some more lettuce for free. But if you stick the bottom of it in some water, it should grow some roots and then start growing you some lettuce shoots too. So, and then I'll show you. I growed a purple onion in my garden this past year and pulled it up, and then went to use it for my chili, and I decided to cut. I usually end up cutting them too small off, but at the bottom, at the roots part, you want to cut off maybe about 1 inch so it'll have some kind of space to grow. And I set that in some water up in my windowsill, and it's starting to get a little green shoots on it. My windowsill is full of tomatoes from the garden that I keep just cycling them out, just like my last video. I go down to the garden every couple days or whatever, pull what's starting to turn, and I put them in the windowsill till they turn red. Then I'll put them in the fridge for a day or 2. And then once I pull that back out to put more in, I'll go on and freeze what we didn't use that week. So I've got my freezer in here is full of tomatoes that needs to be processed because I'm running out of freezer space. And I believe we've had some frost, so I'll be making a video on that to see how the frost did and if my garden's done now. Alright, so I went through all the teeny tiny potatoes. Now I'll go with the next set. First I want to show you my purple onion. I just have a little tiny jar and filled it with tap water, and you cut about 1 inch off the bottom, and look, there's some roots growing. They get bigger every day, and it's produced 2 tiny bulbs of onion, and they're starting to turn green on top. And as it grows, you can cut the green off and have chives, or let it grow and you'll have some more onion. And the chives will keep growing back, so that ain't gonna be no big deal. All right. I think I'm going to add another jar of tomato juice down in here. I'm getting it warmed up. And I'll show you my stash here. Then I'll add more potatoes to it. Probably going to use all those potatoes. I'm not really sure how many pounds that is, but we have 4 mouths to feed here and there. Alright, now I've got, I really like this homemade stand here that my husband made me. Probably about 15 years ago, I don't know. I need a flashlight. Our lighting in our house is terrible. Now I can see. Here is my canning stash down here in the dark. So that's pretty good, ain't it? So let's grab out some juice that is the oldest. I think I had about 4 or 5 jars in my last soup, my chili. Alright. I'm going to set this down on the ground. I had to stack them like that because I didn't have any space. But all around in here, I've got pickles and diced tomatoes and all kinds of cool stuff. And this is my homemade laundry soap. Okay. Let me go put my flashlight back. I've been trying to slowly work on this room back in here. Those that have been following me for a while. All the estate stuff and Dollar Tree, dollar bids, yard sales. I quit doing yard selling just because not many people stop at my yard sales, but and it's a lot of work to set it all out, you know. And my son throws stuff over here when he's done. He said, "Mom, I'm hungry. When's that soup gonna be done?" I said, "It'll be a while, buddy." And we don't have snack food around here, which is what he's used to. So I'm trying to teach him patience and trying to teach him we don't need all that snack food around here. All that good stuff. I said the reason why I don't have enough money to buy stuff is because we had to buy Halloween candy to pass out. So we had Tostito chips down in the cabinet, and I told him to put some shredded cheese on top of that and heat it in the microwave maybe 20 seconds, and it will melt the cheese, and put some taco sauce on it. Hey, it's a snack. And he fills up his plate and comes back with half of it. But that's okay. I will set it over here. He may come back to it. If not, Mommy will get it. Alright, let me go grab those other 2 jars in the floor over here. Oh, goodness. Alright. So, as they set, they will separate. You can see how much was tomato, how much was water, you know, from the tomatoes. But it's okay, no big deal. All you gotta do is give it a good little shake. It mixes right back up. No problem. I use this little guy. Don't use the sharp end. Use the flat end. I don't even know what this is called. Bottle opener is what I always called it. And this is how you open up a jar lid without messing it up or breaking it or anything. You just gently Pull it up. Did you hear it? All right. And then I do wash these and reuse these. Sometimes they seal, sometimes they don't seal. You just gotta keep track of which ones can be reused, which ones cannot be reused. I was taking a Sharpie marker and marking an X on them and use them for storage, like just cover and storage instead of actually canning for food preservation. You can put make candy jars out of them or anything like that. Keeps the bugs and stuff out, but not the air, you know, things like that. Here we go. Instead of it splashing on me, pour some more juice down in here and get it warmed up. I'm trying to have it warm but not boil yet until I get it all put together, and then it'll be all warm and then maybe not take as long to boil. Okay. So now I'm just going to finish doing the rest of these potatoes just the same way. I want to show you. Whoop. Show you my crazy kitty. What are you doing, Rocco? Meow, Frisky. Are you Frisky? Yeah, I'm Frisky. Yeah, I'm Frisky. Playing in a box. Cats love boxes. That's how I keep my house pets happy. Just do what I can. Alright, so I'm going to stop this video right now. I'll come back to you once all the potatoes are added in. Okay, I've added some more potatoes, and I forgot to mention that I'm cutting them about the same size as those other potatoes, so they're all kind of uniform size. That way they will all cook good together, and you won't have some that's really mushy that's kind of fell apart and just kind of went in the soup and disappeared, and then have some that are really hard or whatever. So I'm cutting them about the same size. Now, as you can tell, that I'm starting to see the potatoes again. So I'm going to add another jar of juice. I'm just doing that to keep it all good. So remember this one. Give it a good shake. And I'll open it up with my jar opener. Real gentle like. So I'm not bending the top, the lid, or anything. Pour the juice down inside. Because when you have soup, you like to have more juice too, you know, in your bowl. So when you're doing this, you want to try to have half juice, half, you know, vegetables or whatever you're making. That way you get a scoop full of vegetables, you know, that you drain with the spoon, and then you get a big ladle full of soup juice and put it on there. It makes a nice bowl for you. So that's kind of what I do, getting soups together and stuff. Potatoes is going to kind of act like our meat in this pot. So that's why I got more potatoes than anything. Now you can cut these any size that you want. If you want to cook your soup longer, go for it. If you got meat that cooks longer, make them bigger. You know, any size that you want. I just started with the smallest potato kind of as my guide. If you got all big potatoes, cut them any size you want. And then I come on over here and I just go on and cut them in half. Give them a good look. And I cut them kind of the bite-sized bites, which sometimes I gotta cut them even more. And I am leaving the skins on these potatoes. Skin has lots of good vitamins in it. And Lord knows we need nourishment for our bodies. And these came out of my garden that has no chemicals in it. Just whatever the good Lord put in the ground. And then whatever compost that I had too. Things that I compost from my garden is coffee grounds, from my kitchen, I mean. So I hang on to all coffee grounds. I hang on to all the eggshells, any peels, any leftover food items that the dog won't eat because I give it to the dog. Things like that I'll toss in my compost bucket. And these rotten tomatoes, like I go through my tomatoes every day on this windowsill here, and if there's any that's got spots on them or anything like that, I dealt with lots of tomatoes last year. Oh my goodness, all of them that had spots, I kept them, went through them all. I had more than enough tomatoes to mess with, and by the end of it, I was like, man, why didn't I just keep the good ones, you know, and just compost the rest or something, because, you know, sometimes they get big water spots on those tomatoes, or maybe a bug had bitten into them before you bring it in the house, and then it just festers up or whatever. So I have been freezing and keeping just the good tomatoes. No spots, no blemishes, things like that. My husband just texted, ETA on soup? Ha 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 ha. This is what happens when you get up at 11 o'clock in the in the morning, because I'm trying to recuperate from losing so much blood and things from my period. I'm sorry guys if you're watching, but that's just part of life. So I've been sleeping in, recuperating. Today I'm actually feeling good enough to stand. Yesterday I was in a chair trying to do a few dishes, and that's kind of hard. I got that big chair over there in the corner. I bring it over here and sit and do dishes. I'm so used to standing. It's hard to do it. Anyhow, let me answer my husband back and get the rest of these potatoes in the pot. And maybe extra juice. Just let you know. Okay, so I got to this point and we're almost halfway up this pot. And I need to add more vegetables and stuff to it. So I'm making a better decision to not use all of the bigger potatoes, because my roommate, one of my roommates, he's got a roast in his freezer that he said that we can fix one day. And those would be great in a roast with the crock pot. So I'm gonna save those. I won't put them over in my box because I think the cat, he was laying in there. So I do want to clean up the, you know, how cats are, cat dander or whatever. I'm going to clean that up and I'll put those away in my potato box. So now the next thing that I need to grab is something else that's going to go in here that I need to prepare. So that would be onion. You can't have soup without onion, right? So let me grab up some onion here. And I have some onion down here from my garden. So that's 3 items already from my garden. That's amazing. Pride. Alright, well, I do have one onion left from the grocery store. I will be using that one actually. And then I'll have nothing but onions from my garden. Woohoo! Trying to do the first thing, first in, first out, that kind of thing. All right, so I'm gonna get my cutting board out and I'm gonna start chopping up and dicing up onions somewhere. Have I got space? Let's make some space. All right, I'm gonna set you here and show you. Some things can be overwhelming, but there's always ways to try to make space. This is the cup I've been using to keep water in. Trying to stay hydrated. This is Parker's Kool-Aid cup. I'm just gonna set it in this fridge for now. That'll work. This is experiment. I'm gonna put it over here on top of these jars. Maybe. I don't know, this is gonna be a mess. Just kind of steadied it. I'll show you. Kind of steadied it over here across on the jars where it still gets some sunlight. What a mess of clean jars, but I mean, I don't know. All right, now I need to scoop my taters over. You're just gonna hang out here for just a little while, taters. All right, and then I have dirt mess from the potatoes right here. And I'm just gonna use my dishwater to get up here. I'll have to change out my dishwater anyway. It's usually what happens. I run dishwater and then I have to leave and it gets cold or I gotta do something else and I realize its time frame is different, you know, all that kind of stuff. And voila, I have space for a cutting board. I'm gonna go ahead and put this probably up on 4, just so it'll be heating up, and I'll probably go ahead and add in another jar of tomato juice. Get it up here, about halfway up the pan. I used to try to cook real fast, and I've found that cooking slower, it tastes better, and you think things through. So let me go ahead and add that in real quick. I got you setting in my strainer. So I don't know what I should do. Try to get it where it won't fall over. All right, we'll just put you on my cutting board for the time being. I'm gonna go ahead and dump in another jar real quick. And I'm gonna need at least one. I might need another. And I might even yet need another, so I don't know. We'll see. More juice. Alright. There's that. Get you back over here in my strainer. Point you downward. I'll go ahead and get your last store-bought onion. I'm putting all these skins down inside my compost bin. Actually all over the floor because that's where the skins are laying at. This shower chair behind me that you all are looking at was gifted to me from my grandmother. We tried it out in my shower for my husband. He's disabled. Didn't really work out too well. And so we got back with his other shower chair that he modified. That was a smaller one. And so I set it in the kitchen, and he was using it for making his coffee. And I started using it for a step stool in the kitchen. So, yep, I have the shower chair in the kitchen. It's useful at the moment. I also have two little step stools underneath there. And this is a tote of glass that I've been keeping to use in like vases or whatever, different glass bottles that are not jars. So there's a little explanation on that one, right? Okay, when I'm starting to open up a new onion, I'm starting to come up about 1 inch away so that I can do like I did my other purple onion. Put it in water and have some more onion grow for me. This, I don't know if it was a organic onion or not, but it will be organic the second time. So I leave all this on there and stick it in water, which I need to find something really quick. These are all pretty tall, but that's okay. I'll just stick it in this right now. With this water. So we'll have onion and lettuce growing, maybe. We'll see. Yes, I have about 20 different things going on at the same time, don't I? Speaking of that, now we have a lady that wants to open up her barn and have a craft sale. So I'm excited to be a part of that too. So I got my crafts that I make and stuff, and well, things that we make, me and my husband both make by hand. Whatever didn't sell in the yard sale, or, well, actually last year we had a booth, okay? So things that didn't sell in the booth, I was trying to sell it in our yard sale. And then whatever didn't sell in the yard sale, I'm doing this thing called Dollar Bids on Facebook, where people can bid starting at $1, or you can have a reserve item. And tell them how much you want it for or whatever. So we're doing that. So whatever didn't sell there is going to go back into the booth. But before it goes to the booth, we're going to try to sell it in my craft fair. Things that I have made, obviously. So I'm excited for that. That's something new that we'll be adding on in here. The booth is at a flea market, and it's more for like antique items, rare finds, things like that. So where I'm going through my estate, my mom's estate, my mother-in-law's estate, that's helpful in that aspect. But once all that is gone, I was planning on continuing to sell items that we had made, but we may have to find another avenue for that. So this is perfect. If we can have, it's like a farm stand, you know, kind of thing. I like that. And it's here local. That's amazing, because I was thinking about setting up my own kind of a farm stand here in town, because I live in town. But I'm not a huge farm, if that makes sense. I really do enjoy crocheting. My grandmother taught me how to crochet. I was probably 10, 11, 12, something around there, and she taught me how. And you know, as a kid, you learn it, you're like, okay, I'm bored with it, and be done with it. But I remember certain things from that as an adult. And now that my life is starting to slow down a little bit, which I'm so happy for, I can actually enjoy making things with my hands. I love it. I like to paint. I like to take beautiful pictures. I used to love to draw when I was younger. And drawing, I would draw what I could see, what I look at. I loved doing that kind of stuff. Whatever looked pretty, things like that. I went to college for art and things, and they had helped me see what the art side looked like, an artist side. They do odd, weird, to me it was weird, okay? They do weird, odd stuff and get paid for their artwork. That's weird. I didn't want to go that route. I wanted to be different. So I pretty much knew what I was going to do. Ended up what I wanted to do with my life. Instead of going to Disney or Pixar, which is really one of my childhood dreams. I loved cartoons and I loved video games, so I was thinking about that kind of a realm. So I went to college and my mom stuck me in graphic design, which was not computer design, which is what I was wanting, I think. And learned typography and advertising, like billboards and stuff. Learned kind of stuff like that. And then I was able to change it to studio art. So I learned different ways of painting. I painted a baptistry mural for one of my old churches. It was John the Baptist was baptizing Jesus in the, it's either a river or a pond. It kind of looked like a pond, but that's the picture I chose to paint with. And so I took pictures of it. I don't know if they've covered over that or not, or if they've kept it, but there's my mark on the world.
I'm gonna cry.
Why?
Onions.
There's Parker.
Is that onions?
Yeah, this is onions.
Yes.
Onion.
Look
That's
at my
your hoodie.
Is it in
Is it where?
the truck?
You can check. I don't really know, babe. So anyhow, I wanted to come up with something to do at home because I'm homeschooling my son and I'm taking care of my husband who's now become disabled, and he can do some stuff but he's limited and he needs me around if he happens to fall or anything of that nature.
Finally found it.
Did you find it? All right. You're welcome. So with that, I'm trying to be home more, but then we also got bills too. So I end up door dashing to make up what little bit of money that we may need. You know, for toiletries and soap, you know, things like that. Cat food, we got cats, we have dog food, cat litter, all that good stuff.
Thirsty.
So we, yeah, I put your cup in there because I didn't have space on my counter.
I'm using this.
Just set the other one over here on the counter to be washed then. You can set it in that pot, that pan over
Wait,
there.
actually, I'll use this because it's nice and cold.
Okay.
That said okay.
Yeah, my husband texted back, okay, because I told him, I said, I'm working on it.
Oh. Yeah, see how the chili's done?
He said, when is this ETA on the soup?
I'm not chili.
And I said, working on it. It takes time. I'm sorry. Alright. Now I got a whole onion chopped up here. Yay! We're gonna add it to the pot.
That took forever.
It does take a while. Let me wash
Unless
my
you go on
hands.
TikTok and find the onion cutter or something.
Well, I have
TikTok
onion.
has everything on shop.
I have an onion slicer, but I just feel like it's easier to clean one knife and have uniform, pretty uniform, look at that. Uniform pieces diced, how small that I want them, instead of using
What does uniform mean?
the same all the way across. They're the same uniform, nice looking, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be dumping this into my soup that's
How do it?
starting to, starting to bubble a little. Alright. You can use this spoon if you need to.
No, I'm fine.
And then I'll rake the rest of it off with my hands.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you, my little helper.
Not for long.
I know, you're leaving, eh?
Where do I put this cup? It's right in the fridge.
Yeah, I need the counter space at the moment. I know, but hey, it's ready for you.
Yeah, it's correct.
I haven't done dishes, so I gotta work on it. Alright, I'm gonna put the cutting board back over here. Give it a good little stir here. Yo!
Sorry for bothering you a lot, but...
You're not.
Oh,
Cabbage.
they said the Legion Park.
The Legion Park, okay.
Legion Park. She said, really? It's at the park. I think it's the Legion Park. Yeah, Legion Park. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we're going there tomorrow to trick or treat.
I said I'm going.
Or trunk or treat, whatever you call it. Alright. We got all kinds of cool places to go to this year for trunk or treat. Ew. Alright, let me get down in here and get the cabbage out. Cabbage is good in soup. This is not from the garden. This is one that we got at the store. So I am going to I always peel off the first couple leaves. It almost feels wasteful, but I always did. I don't know why. And then I'm just gonna kind of shred it up or whatever. I don't know if I should use the whole head. Let me think. It is a small head, excuse me. And it does cook down quite a bit. I'll probably cut it in half. Just in case we want another kind of, let me try to think, what can I use it for? Another kind of soup, but we'll just cut it all. Maybe I need to pull these off too then. There's the head. I like seeing it. Okay. That's what it is. Just need to cut a few more of these off. Compost bin. And I kind of cut this up like I do my onions. Maybe a little bit bigger. My knife needs a little sharpened or something here. I'll rinse this off. Keep doing this till I feel like it's real smooth. Alright. Set that aside. Hold on just a second. Okay, so real life happens, y'all, right? Look, my belt just broke. I was trying to figure out what happened. So, yay! And these pants fall completely down. I'm gonna have to go change my pants and I'll be back. Just my luck, y'all. But this is one of those belts, genuine Dickies, that twist because, you know, you got a brown side and a black side. I'm terrible on belts. Usually the holes wear out on me usually, and I thought, well, maybe getting one of these might save on the holes. But so now I think I'm down to about 1 or 2 pairs of pants that don't fall off of me until I can get a belt. And I have a long list right here of stuff that I have to get before I can even get a belt. Gotta add that to the list. Unless my husband might be able to fix it. I don't really know. Until then, I'm without a belt. Hold up. No, that didn't work. So, I don't know. My husband's good at fixing things. So I'm gonna go set it in here in the living room where I can show him later, maybe not forget. Put it on top of my other stuff. Whew. So I have a tote for the farm stand. I have a tote that goes back to the booth. I have a tote that I've already went through and posted on dollar bids, and I have another tote right there that goes for more stuff to post on dollar bids. In my living room.
I got your back.
Yep, you got my back. Thanks, I appreciate it. You better be nice.
What? I got your back. I got your back.
Yeah, but you're pushing me. Don't. Quit pushing on me.
No. I got your back. Mom, it's 444. Oh, it was 444. Now it's 445.
Yeah, I've been working on this for about an hour. Alright, back to this. Things happen, though. I mean, it's just how it is. Let me go on and chop this up here. The hardest part is putting things together, and then once it all comes to a nice boil, which takes about 30 minutes to boil everything. You know, you want it to boil for like 15 minutes or so, at least.
Granny Smith! Mom, those green apples are Granny Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go!
Yeah, we bought that to make those monster faces.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay. I think all that's gonna break up anyway. Let's see. That's not like onion. Let's just chop it here. Alright, I'm gonna add what I do have chopped in my pot. Follow me on the stove. That'd be cool if I had a GoPro or something on top of my head, and I wouldn't have to pack and move or have like 2 different cameras or something. Then you have to double them together, but I'm dealing with what I got. Come on, stay up there. You was up there earlier. What's wrong with you? You just don't want to, do you? Here, let's go down a little further down. Is that what it is? Up too tall. I don't know. It may or may not stay. Okay, so we got the chopped up cabbage going in now. This will turn a nice pretty green color once it's cooked. It really don't take long, honestly, to cook. Our soup, the juice is starting to get good and hot now. Alright, I'm gonna go chop up the rest of this cabbage and dump it in. I know y'all are getting bored at this video. Alright, so I got it all dumped in there now, finally. Alright, now I got hot and I had to take my shirt. I got your back. That's why Parker said that. Okay, so now we have potatoes, we have onion, we've got cabbage in there. Let's see what other vegetables I can find. I've been trying to use the store-bought up stuff first. So, we have some corn. Let's do 2 cans of corn. Alright, let's do, what else have we got? See, I've got food here. I've got salmon here. We've got tuna. We've got hot dog chili sauce. I do have hot dogs in the refrigerator if Parker doesn't eat them up as like a snack or something. I was given another can of that. Let's see. Salmon. Alright. We've got mixed vegetables. There's some chicken broth there. Let's do 2 cans of mixed vegetables. My hands are full already. Alright. Let me set this here. And I'll put my cans here. Corn, mixed vegetables. Alright, now we've got, what is this? Pasta sauce. Move that over. And we've got some hearty tomato soup and broccoli and cheese soup. That's good. We also have oysters here. Hank likes oyster soup, but you gotta have milk for that. I don't have that. I'm running out of milk. Okay, so we have green beans. Let's do 2 of those. Vegetable soup. Okay, let's put it on top where we can see it. That's tomato sauce. Put all them together. Let's see. Here's some peas. I'll bring that with me. Black beans. I don't know. I put some in our chili. I don't know. I'll ask Hank to see if he thinks black beans would be alright. Here's some more of that. Here's another. Some more peas. So I only got 2 cans of peas. Alright, let's see. Sauce, pinto beans, refried beans. Ooh, we got carrots. Let's do 2 cans of carrots. I'm about to drop all of this. I think the rest of that is beets, black beans, and canned potatoes, which I've already put potatoes in there, so this might be pretty good hefty soup here, guys. Now I'm going to start with probably 1 can each. See how much soup I can make. Alright. I'm getting it to starting to boil, you see that? That's kind of why I wanted to start it all like that. If you hear a ruckus in the background, that's the puppy in my roommate's room having fun with some toys in there or something. Alright. Oh, this is driving me crazy. I don't know what it is. Balance is going crazy on me. Alright. I'm gonna have to clear out the sink. That figures out. The water was running out anyway on the rinse water. So what I like to do with cans, because as they set over time, they do get like some, I don't know if you can see it or not, some dust on there. So I always wash them with my wash rag. I don't know if they're out of date. I don't really pay attention to dates on food. What I pay attention to is when I open it, whether or not there's mold inside, you know? No mold, as long as you heat it up, boil it for a good while. That's why I like to boil soup, 15, 30 minutes, something like that. Kills everything off. Just like canned food. Don't really go bad. That's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. I don't like wasting food. Alright. So we got potatoes, we've got, that's a white or whatever. Cabbage, that's a green. We got onion in there, that's for flavoring. Let's go with orange. I do drain my vegetables. Sometimes I even rinse them off. Alright, so we got canned of carrots. Carrots will also be good for roast. Do you remember if I had any carrots left over? I'll have to check. Okay, so I have 1 can of carrots left in my pantry. That'll be good for roast. What I like to do is stir up my soup and get a feel for color. So, I'm trying to think whether I want 2 cans in my soup or 2 cans in my beef stew, or my roast, so I think I'll do 2 cans in the roast though. I'm gonna go ahead and go with mixed vegetables next. Mixed vegetables have the celery and stuff that I don't have, and usually lima beans or something. It's also got potatoes and carrots in it too, so that's alright. I think I'll use both cans of mixed vegetables. Sorry, there's some left down in there. Alright. Let's give that a nice little stir in. Don't that look delicious? Just oh yeah. Yeah, it don't matter if it don't have meat in it or not. It won't have the, I guess, the fat in it, maybe. That'll be different, like not having the fat on top the next day. Alright, let's go with corn. Parker was telling me he don't want peas in his soup. I said, Parker, I've always had peas in your soup. Well, I can't dig them out. Well, then eat them and act like it's good. you eat. That's how I started eating vegetables when I was a kid, because I hated them. I didn't like the taste of them. But if I could, I would eat it like in a vegetable soup. You don't really taste it. And it could be because of how it was prepared. I think I'll go with 2 cans of corn. Again, I'm looking at color. I see a lot of red here. And we got some greens, we got some white. The reason why I don't use the water inside the cans is because the water is very potent of the corn flavor or the peas flavor or the green bean flavor, you know, that kind of thing. It's real potent and it can mess with the flavoring of your soup. So that's why I dump out the water from the can. And sometimes if it's soup that I need to add water to, I'll go on and fill up the can with water from the tap or filtered water, and then add it to my soup for extra water. But that's just what I do. Okay. Now let's stir it. Remember, if you don't like any of these ingredients, you can always omit whatever you don't like. That is no big deal. Hank's mama, my mother-in-law, she called it piddling soup. Just piddling around. Just put whatever you like in your soup, okay? I smell the tomato juice. I don't have any seasonings in there right now except for the onion, so. All right. Starting to look good on the color there. Now we're going to work on this here green beans. Ooh, green beans. I ain't had green beans in a while. It just makes a soup. Yep, I'm gonna go 2 green beans. Go grab that. Another one. Don't dump. Oh yeah. I've been putting my cans in the recycle. I recycle as much as possible. I used to keep cans, but I figured I would, if I had a craft in mind, then I could start keeping cans for that craft. Until then, I'm just going to go ahead and get it out of here. Same thing with toilet paper rolls and all that. I was keeping it. The next thing I know, it was piling up on me and haven't used it yet. And it's just sitting around, collecting dust. In the way, taking up space. So if you don't have a purpose for something, I wouldn't recommend hanging on to it. So once you start going through stuff, you'd be like, why was I keeping that? Or, I know I was keeping it for this, but I ain't gonna get to it, and it ain't gonna be soon. So, there you go. Alright. Whoa. Good catch, Laura. Okay. So, I think that's quite a bit of filling. Can you see that? Now I need to add more juice to this. So I'm going to add another jar or two of tomato juice. So let's go get some. And I think we're going to do like Parker suggested, not do the peas because I like peas on the side of any kind of meals. And I think my roommate said he's got some pork chops in there too. So we'll be using them during that time. I'm going to take this, put it back over here on my shelf. I can't wait till I get my new pantry. Everything will be able to see what's in here. Is what my new pantry would be like. Everything will have its own place instead of, oh, this is in front of this is in front of that. Yeah, nothing like that. You don't have to sift through everything. Does that make sense? There's even more salmon down here. There's spinach back there. Okay. Let's get some more jars of juice. Ooh. Might be two more, I don't know. All right. Probably going to be one more jar, but we will see. The bottom of that's a little, got like a little lip, a bump lip around the edge of it. I don't know, I have to adjust them sometimes. To set this aside because that sink's full now. Give it a good stir. Looks good, but I'm gonna need more juice. You could add water and add tomato paste to your soup. The water gives more juice to it, and the tomato paste makes it thicker. Let me shake this up. I also have this stuff called tomato powder that you can use to help thicken your soup up and everything. I just don't have tomato paste right now. And to even make tomato paste from home, you have to boil down tomatoes a lot. It takes a lot, I think, from what I was reading. I never made it. I'm really thinking about adding another jar. I just want this to be full, but it's already up to the handles. Because I like meat or juice with my soup. So, let's add some seasonings. So right now it just smells like tomato. And I was gonna put diced tomatoes in there though. Should I? Yeah, I have some diced tomatoes down here that I made. So I've used up all the store-bought. Okay. Diced tomatoes or tomato chunks, which I'm gonna do the chunks, I think. And I think they're about the same, really. The chunks or tomato diced. The dice is more smaller, I think. And I think my chunks were more like maybe quartered, bigger slices. And I am going to add the juice to this from these into my soup. Alright. These don't look like they got dust much on them. That's because they was in the cabinet. Alright. They look diced to me, didn't they? Maybe the diced ones were really tiny. It's my first year making them is what I've done. So I was kind of experimenting. And there toward the end, I think I was tired of cutting the tomatoes and everything. So, yeah, you can see how they're a little bit bigger chunks than what maybe you'd buy in diced tomatoes. I don't even think I skinned them or anything either that year. Alright, now we have a full pot of soup. Now I'm just going to start adding some seasonings. And I just go with my nose. If you're not able to smell, you might have a little harder time to do it. Get somebody in your household that does smell and see if they'll help you with it. So we have onion in there, but I'm going to go ahead and put some more onion powder. If it's not clumped up, and it is. This is just going to go throughout the soup, help flavor it up. I'm going to go with some garlic powder. You could probably put minced garlic in here if you wanted to. Chili powder, probably not. Paprika. I don't guess I'm putting much spice, like spicy stuff in here, but you can pick it however you want. And I got paprika, that's peppers. I'm gonna put some of this turmeric in there. That's an anti-inflammatory root kind of vegetable or seasoning, whatever. I could put cayenne pepper, but I did that in chili. Like I got, you know, I got all the spicy kind of stuff in chili. So I don't want this to taste like chili, you know. I want it to have its own flavor of its own. So I'm gonna go more like, what do we got here? Thyme? Yeah. We'll go with some thyme. Let me see. Yeah, more like an earthy tone smelling. We'll go with some thyme. We'll go with some basil usually. I'll throw in there. It'd be like a basil's more like a, it's tomato. Italian. That's what I was trying to think. More like an Italian taste. Let's see. I have some Italian seasoning, fresh mint, parsley, oregano. Oregano's good too for Italian. Alright, we got rosemary. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Thyme and rosemary in here. And then, let's see, we'll get, where's that bay leaf? That's good in soup. Earthy. That's kind of like a earthy root stock, you know, base, because you got your potatoes and then you got your carrots, things like that. And here's the basil. I smelt it and it smells more like pizza, so let's not put that in there. That's just how I roll with that. So we got bay leaf, rosemary, and thyme in here. And then I've got the normal stuff that I normally put, like onion powder, garlic powder. I put paprika in here because it's red. Turmeric is good. Herbs. We need some salt. Lots of salt. This is the good Redmond real salt. We also have it on the table too to season your own bowl, salt and pepper. But I do add it in our soup. Don't really know if you can taste it though. And then I got some pepper, black pepper, which makes me sneeze usually every time, if you've seen any of my previous videos. Mix that in. Alright, smells pretty good. Now all I gotta do is bring this to a boil, let it boil for about 30 minutes, and then we can eat it. And usually I use a slotted spoon to scoop up the stuff first, and then I use, here's a slotted that I kind of use. And then I'll use a ladle to dip down and just get juice only and pour it in my bowl. Have that with some crackers crushed up inside. Man, it's good. And that's what we call piddling soup. We'll see you on the next video if I remember to make a video. Bye guys.